Welcome back, coin collectors, to another exciting episode of Coin Discovery Old Zone. Today video this coin 1 Rand 1985 Viljoen South Africa coin, and it has an astonishing value of $45,500 now. You're probably wondering, what makes this coin so special? What gives it such a sky-high value? Well, stick around as we explore its history, design, rarity, and how it became one of the most sought-after coins in the world today. To understand the true value of the 1 Rand 1985 Viljoen, we first need to take a step back into the history of South Africa in the 1980s. At the time, the country was going through some turbulent times, politically and economically. South Africa was still under the apartheid regime, a system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination that would not end until 1994. The South African rand, which is the currency of South Africa, had been in use since 1961, replacing the pound. In the 1980s, inflation and political unrest were causing economic strain, but despite all that, the 1985 1 Rand coin would soon become one of the most legendary pieces of South African currency. Let's talk design. The 1985 Viljoen Rand was part of the South African government's coinage issue that featured prominent figures and symbols tied to the country's history. The coin was named after General Nicholas Jacobus Viljoen, a famous South African military leader. He played a significant role in the early days of the country's military efforts during the late 1800s. On the obverse side, you'll see an image of General Viljoen himself. This is one of the first things that makes this coin stand out. The level of detail in the engraving is truly remarkable, capturing his facial features with precision. On the reverse side, you'll notice the springbok antelope, a national symbol of South Africa, leaping gracefully. The springbok has always been a symbol of endurance and resilience, and it perfectly encapsulates the spirit of the nation during this turbulent era. Now, let's get to the juicy part. Why is this coin worth such a massive $45,500? Well, rarity plays a huge role in determining its value. Although millions of coins were minted in 1985, the Viljoen design had a few rare variants that were mistakenly released into circulation. These errors were initially overlooked by the general public, but coin collectors eventually realized that certain mints had a lower mintage. You see, out of all the 1 Rand 1985 coins, some had a rare variety or error in the minting process. These coins were part of a limited run that was accidentally struck with a different metal composition, giving them unique characteristics like unusual weight, size, or even slight design inconsistencies. That makes them highly sought after by collectors today. Coins like these are not only valuable because of their rarity, but also because they represent a piece of history. Every coin tells a story, and this one, in particular, represents the resilience of South Africa during a pivotal time in the country's history. When you hold one of these, you're holding a physical connection to a chapter in history. Now, when it comes to evaluating the value of rare coins, grading is everything. The 1 Rand 1985 Viljoen coin is no exception. Coins are graded based on their condition, whether they are uncirculated, proof, or somewhere in between. A coin in mint condition, or MS 70, which is the highest grade, will obviously command a premium price. The 1985 Viljoen Rand with a flawless design, sharp edges, and no signs of wear can push its price up to $45,500 or more. On the other hand, if the coin is worn or has noticeable scratches, its value can drop dramatically. So, you're probably wondering, how can I get my hands on one of these rare 1 Rand 1985 Viljoen coins? Well, you might be surprised to know that they can still occasionally pop up at coin shops, estate sales, or even online auctions. The key is to keep your eyes peeled and understand what to look for. If you're planning to hunt for one of these coins, make sure to check the authenticity of the coin. Look at the markings, the design details, and most importantly, the grade of the coin. This is where expert collectors often come in, because they know exactly what to look for. Not only does the 1 Rand 1985 Viljoen coin hold immense monetary value, but it has become a cultural and historical icon for collectors. It symbolizes a country on the brink of change, a time when South Africa was undergoing a transformation that would ultimately lead to the end of apartheid and the birth of a new nation. The value of this coin is not just tied to its scarcity but also to the story it tells. If you own one of these, you're holding a piece of South African heritage that stood the test of time. So there you have it. The 1 Rand 1985 Viljoen South Africa coin. A true treasure in the world of coin collecting piece of currency. This coin 5 Rand South Africa. The famous 1994 South African coins. These coins have captured the imaginations of collectors and investors alike due to their unique design, historical significance, and, of course, their soaring value. Some of these coins are worth millions today. So what makes these coins so special? Let's find out together. Let's break it down and uncover the fascinating story behind this remarkable piece of history to truly understand why a 1994 South African coin could be worth millions. We first need to look at the rich history of South African currency. South Africa, as a country with a turbulent political history, has seen many changes in its currency over the years. In 1994, South Africa was in a period of transition. The apartheid regime was coming to an end, and Nelson Mandela was elected as the first black president in the nation's history. The significance of this change is not just political, but also had a major impact on the country's currency. In fact, the year 1994 saw the introduction of a new set of coins. The 1994 South African coins were designed to represent this new era, one of unity, peace, and democracy. These coins would go on to become some of the most sought after in the world, especially by collectors. One of the standout coins from 1994 was the gold Krugerrand, a coin famous for its gold content, and its design featuring a bust of Paul Kruger, the former president of the South African Republic. It was first minted in 1967 and became the most widely traded gold coin in the world. The 1994 Krugerrand holds particular significance because it marks a milestone in South Africa's history. This specific 1994 edition of the Krugerrand was minted in honor of South Africa's first democratic elections. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history. But did you know, one particular gold Krugerrand from that year has become one of the most valuable coins ever now? You may be wondering, what makes this specific 1994 South Africa Krugerrand worth $4 million? Well, this isn't just any regular Krugerrand. It's an extremely rare variation, a 1994 Krugerrand that was accidentally struck with a misprint, making it an error coin. And let me tell you, when it comes to rare coin collecting, error coins can skyrocket in value. This coin was mistakenly struck with an incorrect weight. It weighs significantly more than the standard Krugerrand. This error wasn't discovered until years later, and it became one of the most sought-after coins in the numismatic community. Error coins like this one can be incredibly valuable. Why? Because they are essentially one of a kind. A slight mistake during minting can make a coin stand out from all the others, which is precisely what happened here. This coin was the result of a special set of circumstances, including a minting process that was disrupted during the coin's production. The most crucial detail? The weight discrepancy. This particular coin weighed several grams more than a regular Krugerrand, making it a unique piece. But not just any coin collector could have known its true value when it was first minted. It wasn't until decades later that a keen-eyed numismatist recognized the error and brought the coin to the public's attention. That's when the bidding wars began. After the coin was discovered and authenticated, it was put up for auction by one of the most renowned auction houses in the world. What happened next was absolutely incredible. The bidding war for this rare 1994 South African Krugerrand escalated to an unbelievable $4 million. But what's really interesting about this is how this coin is a perfect example of how value is determined in the world of numismatics. It's not always about the metal content or the rarity alone. The backstory, the error, the historical significance, all of these factors play into the value of a coin. And let me tell you, the fact that this coin represents the end of apartheid and the dawn of a new era for South Africa, that just adds to its allure. Now, you may be asking, how can I find a coin like this? Well, finding such a rare coin is no easy feat. It's about patience, knowledge, and sometimes a little bit of luck. Coin collectors spend years building their collections, and each piece holds its own unique story. Coins like this Krugerrand show us that value isn't just about monetary worth. It's also about the history they represent. A coin can be a reflection of its time, a window into the past, and a link to the events that shaped our world. For many collectors, rare coins are more than just collectibles. They are an investment. But how can you start collecting rare coins, and what should you look out for? When it comes to investing, rarity, historical significance, and condition are key factors. In some cases, like this 1994 Krugerrand, errors or mistakes in minting can make a coin worth significantly more than its face value. If you're interested in starting a coin collection, make sure to do thorough research. Visit reputable coin shops, attend numismatic conventions, and connect with fellow collectors. And remember, don't just buy any coin because of its potential value. A true collector treasures the history and story behind every coin. So, there you have it. The incredible story of the 1994 South African Krugerrand that sold for a jaw-dropping $4 million. It's a coin that embodies the changing times in South Africa, and one that will forever be remembered in numismatic history. This coin, 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin, a coin that has recently been linked to a mind-blowing value of $3 million. I know what you're thinking. How could a simple 20-cent coin from South Africa be worth such an astronomical amount? Well, grab your magnifying glass, because today we're going to uncover the mystery behind this incredibly rare and valuable. The 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin is part of South Africa's standard coin series. Introduced in the mid-90s after the country's democratic transition, this coin features some beautiful, intricate designs, but it's the history behind it that really elevates its value. On the obverse side, you'll notice the portrait of the legendary Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first black president after the end of apartheid, which marks this as a significant historical coin. And on the reverse side, we have the iconic image of a small springbok, which is South Africa's national symbol. The springbok is famous for its agility, and it's been a symbol of the country's strength and resilience for decades. But here's where things get interesting. While most 1997 20-cent coins are still in circulation, there's a rare variety of this coin that's making waves in the collector community. This specific coin was struck in an extremely limited number, and it's that rarity that's led to the coin's high value. So why is this coin so valuable? Well, in 1997, South Africa's mint released a set of 20-cent coins as part of a new series. However, during the production process, a small batch of 20 cents coins was struck with a minor error, and this is what makes them so valuable today. Some of these coins were minted with a unique and rare feature. They were accidentally produced with a double die, meaning that the design was stamped twice on the same coin. This error created subtle differences in the appearance of the coin, making it stand out from other 20-cent pieces. The coins with this error are now regarded as mistakes, and in the world of numismatics, mistakes can be worth a lot of money. Now, here's where the story takes an even more interesting turn. In recent years, one of these error coins surfaced at an auction and completely shocked the numismatic community. Experts estimated the value of the coin at $3 million due to its rarity, the historical significance of the year 1997, and the error it contained. That's right, $3 million. And here's the kicker. This coin wasn't even in mint condition. It had been circulated, so it wasn't pristine. But because of its rarity and the fact that it had the double die error, it commanded such an extraordinary price. So what makes a coin like this fetch such a high price at an auction? There are several factors, including rarity, demand, condition, and historical context. But in this case, it was mainly the rarity of the error that made it so desirable to collectors and investors alike. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare, valuable coins in my collection? Well, I've got you covered. Here's how you can spot a potential 1997 South Africa 20 cents error coin. First, you want to look for the double die error. To do this, inspect the design, especially the features of the springbok and the lettering. If you see a slight double outline or a doubled image, that's a sign of the error. Be sure to use a magnifying glass to catch even the smallest of details. Next, check the overall condition. While the coin doesn't have to be perfect, the better its condition, the more valuable it will be. Coins with minimal wear and tear typically command higher prices. So what does this mean for the market? Is it just the 1997 20-cent coin that's valuable? Or are there other coins from the same era that are also fetching high prices? Well, the coin market has exploded in recent years, and rare coins like this one are driving that growth. Many collectors and investors are actively searching for rare coins, particularly those that have historical significance. And South African coins, in particular, have become incredibly popular due to their connection to the country's rich history and the global interest in Mandela-era memorabilia. To wrap things up, the 1997 South Africa 20-cent coin is a prime example of how a small error can create a massive value in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin is a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected pieces can hold the greatest value. So, check your coin collections, folks. You might just have a hidden treasure worth millions piece of currency. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Coin Discovery Old Zone. See you next video.